Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be doing some quick little love notes from your person. This is going to be a message cards only reading and there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Picasso Jasper heart. Group 2 is the clear quartz heart. And group 3 is the Mookaite Jasper heart. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Picasso Jasper heart. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Okay, and they say, you are so much stronger than I am. So they may be struggling with some self-esteem issues at this point in time, a little bit of a lack mentality, a lot of struggles, a lot of pressure that they are under, maybe professionally. This can have to do with something personally. Can also just tie into some ascension symptoms that are happening, some spiritual struggles that they are having at this point in time, wishing that they could confide in you about these things, looking to you as an example, either energetically or if they are able to watch you on social media, that might be the case. What they are aware of or what they have just been able to energetically glean about similar struggles that you have been through, obstacles that you have overcome in your life, looking to you as an example, seeing that you have moved through these things, through these storms with grace and with a sense of humor, that you have kept your heart open rather than closing off and allowing yourself to become embittered. This is a stance that they are striving for within themselves, but it's very difficult. It feels like a very arduous task that they have in front of them at this point in time. A lot of questions, not a lot of answers that they are able to really come to. And in this space of unknowing, this very liminal space between what is kind of falling away from their life and what is getting ready to be birthed, there are thoughts of you, wishes that they could kind of have that same inner strength, to find that same courage and that same internal guidance Whatever that radar is that you have identified within yourself, whatever your North Star is, that drive and that poise within you to keep persevering. They're really struggling to harness that within themselves. And again, looking to you as an example, literally or energetically, for how to kind of weather some of these storms. And you are giving them a lot of hope that on the other side of all of this turbulence and chaos is a greater sense of self-awareness, is a greater sense of joy, and again, that internal strength that it is a struggle for them to really find within them. There's hope that someday this will be made manifest, and that they can, rise above these challenges in their own personal life, and also rise above challenges that the two of you have faced together. They also say, you were never afraid of my darkness. So they may have shown you a lot of shadowy energy, really withheld their love, withdrew their love. They were very avoidant, perhaps, emotionally, very non-committal, and they are seeing that you still held them in a space of compassion. This is something which it feels that they are really reflecting on other romantic partnerships they have had, or even just other friendships or relationships with family. And they are really noticing a difference in how, despite things have not necessarily gone according to your plans, the way you would have wanted them to, they have a lot of respect for how you have handled things. They may be accustomed to people who, would speak really bad about them, would be very vengeful or very vindictive in the aftermath of things kind of falling apart. That may have just been the trend and the pattern, something they were just expecting. And it's really taken them by surprise how you have taken a different approach to this. You've chosen a different route. You have turned all of that kind of pain and anguish within you into a source of power, of self-awareness. You've really taken your power back from that by not projecting similar kind of distortion and darkness upon this person, but really using these circumstances as an opportunity to heal and to come into a greater amount of self-awareness, recognizing trends and patterns within you, and kind of leading by example of operating from a space of integrity. And it's something which it is really in the aftermath of whatever has happened between the two of you. If this is a no contact situation, it's something that is made a very profound mark upon them. It has left them with a lot to think about and a lot to reflect on, and definitely a point of comparison between what they would have expected out of this situation, what people have really shown them in other circumstances, and what has been experienced here. They also say, I want to feel your hand in mine. So they are longing for closeness. They are longing to return to your world, return to your life. There's a desire to, again, weather some internal storms that are taking place in order to reach a place of peace within themselves, a recognition that they have of kind of how essential some of these struggles are, but also how arduous of a journey this has been. There are a lot of thoughts of reconciliation at this time, maybe even kind of reminiscing on times that the two of you have spent together, looking over old photos, or just kind of memories that they have filed away in their mind, in the mental space, and really a lot of strength, a lot of comfort that they are getting from recollecting the good times between the two of you before everything got so complicated. It feels like in a lot of ways you are a rock for this person energetically, or even just the memory of what was, and then this hope of what might yet be between the two of you. This is providing them a lot of solace at this time. They also say, all I ever wanted and needed is in you. So they may be recognizing you as a soulmate, as a counterpart. Again, that kind of reference to that strength that you have, that perseverance, that tenacity, that courage to really face these circumstances and to utilize all of this that has happened with this person, and even in other areas of your life, to not allow these things to break you or to limit you in some way, but that you've actually become stronger because of these things and in spite of these things. They see you as somebody that would be a very good partner to have by their side. They feel very comforted by you, even in this period of separation, and there is this desire to, again, kind of weather some storms, bring this beyond the energetic circumstances and the physical circumstances that exist between the two of you currently, and open the door to a new chapter, to something else that is possible between you. If they had been very indecisive in the past, or emotionally withdrawn, or kind of withheld affection from you, in the aftermath of all of that, they've really been thinking and have really been kind of piecing things together internally, that what they are seeking in a long-term partnership, maybe that was not even something they were geared toward in the past, but some kind of evolution has happened, some kind of maturation process is happening. Through these trials and tribulations, through this anguish that they are going through, they are becoming very certain about some new roots that they would like to lay, some trends and patterns that need to be broken away from, and an urge to move in a different direction. And then when they think about a companion to be by their side, somebody who embodies those values and that energy and that kind of dynamic that they are looking for, any kind of questioning that they may have had, the answer, it comes down to you. They also say, I can't face you right now. The intensity between us scares me. So they really may have been activated by this connection, a Kundalini awakening, a spiritual awakening, a heart chakra activation, something that just was very intense, very outside of kind of their comfort zone, very mutually experienced energy. And again, kind of looking to you and the strength where you didn't run from this. You leaned into this. You allowed this energy to flow through you and to transform you in many ways. And it's something where, they are recognizing kind of the difference in how each of you has accepted the gift of this connection and internalized it, and really kind of incorporated that into your reality. It's something where there's a lot of shame, a lot of guilt at this point in time for having run from you, running again, like from the intensity of the connection, the intensity of this kind of next level love, or even just these feelings that you are all they have ever wanted and needed, this sense of forever, the sense of homecoming, and a feeling that they might not have perceived themselves to be prepared for that, a little bit indecisive, maybe still wanting at one point to keep their options open, not sure if they're ready to settle down, kind of questioning what they have to bring to the table, some things that needed to be kind of sorted out within themselves, cycles that needed to be closed up, or new chapters that needed to be explored individually, internally, in order to have something of value to kind of reciprocate with you. There's an urge to move in your direction, but also something that is really holding them back while they're still in this process of kind of thinking, sorting through all of this, kind of problem solving, picking their way through these tangles and these knots of kind of the life they were living, and a certain perception, a certain energy that they were holding or perceiving within them, and sort of this wide new vista that has been opened up between the two of you and through this connection. Kind of avoiding a little bit, also not wanting to see the pain that they have caused you by reaching out and even having a face-to-face interaction. So a little bit avoidant. If this is someone that maybe you have had interactions with, they could be avoiding eye contact with you as well, not wanting you to really see down to these most vulnerable parts of themselves, feeling very comfortable in your presence, but at the same time, a lot of shame that they are having to work through in many different ways. They also say, I was not looking for something like this. So again, the intensity of the connection, this very massive awakening, this very profound soul recognition that they have had for you, that has continued even as much as they have pulled away or kind of tried to stuff this down. This is a situation where the two of you have been forever changed by this dynamic. It is outside of kind of the bounds of what they thought was possible in connection with another person, what they were looking for. Again, someone who might have been kind of non-committal, had at one point in time felt that they weren't ready to settle down, and all of that is really changing for them. It feels that this might have been kind of a wild card situation as well. A lot of differences between the two of you culturally, maybe an age difference, different kind of upbringing, different kind of lifestyle, and a lot of questionings that may have made them pull away in the past, kind of figuring that it would be impossible to make this work. It was so illogical. You were so different from who they were usually gravitating toward, or who they had come to believe was kind of that right type of person for them. Yet in the aftermath of running, their heart is still, very firmly entrenched with you. Their thoughts come back to you, and it's something where there's a lot of exploration within themselves, kind of a plea for strength, the SOS call that is being made to their guides, to the universe, to their angels, just to whoever or whatever will be able to, really respond and to assist them in finding the answers and in coming into a place of balance, learning to really ride the waves of the intensity that exists between you, what is felt, what is seen, what is awakening within them. They also say higher vibrations, raise your energy and spirit. My darling, please heal. So again, they are looking to you as an energetic example, feeling into the situation with you energetically and being very inspired by the example that you are setting, to lead with an open heart, to choose to become more compassionate, more loving towards self rather than embittered and closed down. If they are able to watch you in the real world in some way through social media, or maybe they are in physical proximity to you, they might be driving by your house, frequenting places that you would go, hoping to run into you, perhaps even having seen you at some kind of public place, a grocery store, out and about, and they just sort of tucked themselves away. They kind of darted away very quickly to the point where you didn't notice them, but they saw you. And it was just something about your aura, something about your glow, something about this strength and this magnitude of your energy that they had not been able to really recognize or appreciate before. It might have been very overwhelming for them before. And it is now really turned into something very alluring. So they're encouraging you to just continue on this process of healing, evolution, and growth that you have been on this new trajectory, charting a new course for yourself. They are recognizing this. They are trying to emulate that, literally through the example you are setting, or even just energetically. The more you raise your vibration, you are pulling and compelling them beyond all of this kind of chaos and what no longer serves them, to really allow kind of the pieces to fall away from their life that have contained them or limited them or no longer serve the version of themselves that they are being urged to step into. They also say, forgive me, I had to choose myself. I was not able to give you what you wanted. So any kind of urge to pull away, remaining silent, this idea of they can't face you right now, they can't face the intensity between the two of you. It feels that they are recognizing that there is a lot that they need to work through, and they feel safer in the silence at this point in time. The intensity of this connection, everything that is really being sparked and awakened within them, they don't know how to handle this. They don't know what to make of this. And just as kind of a mechanism, a coping mechanism for them, it might just be to shut down. This could be a very logical person. They're needing time to introspect, needing time to really do research, come to their own conclusions. And so this really comes with this additional message of it's not you, it's me. This is just kind of a habit within themselves to, again, really shut down, internalize, not speak, not express what's on their mind, feeling very lost and alone, yearning for you, wishing that they could reach out and communicate or contact you, share this closeness and kind of move through this journey together. But at this point in time, as they are kind of sitting in this energy, it feels like something where they must just go it alone at this point. They also say our energy is merging. Unity is at hand. Love grows stronger. So again, another confirmation of them really sensing you energetically, being very much magnetized by the changes you are making for yourself within yourself. You are pulling them up energetically. You are helping them to allow some things to be shaken loose from their life. If you have questioned if the work you've done on yourself, if this has been received by them, if this is affecting them in any way, this is really a confirmation that it is. And the effect that it might be having could also just be this deep triggering within them that really activates more of that coping mechanism to kind of further shut off, further closet themselves away from you energetically or literally. All of this can be, kind of that very basic confirmation for you that they have felt something, they are sensing something. Kind of the more icy the energy gets, the more silent they become. It's almost that they're bearing down, they're keeping their eyes shut, not wanting to really recognize or appreciate the changes that are wanting to take place, and in a lot of ways are already just kind of wheels that are set in motion. A lot of chaos, a lot of upheaval, and they're really being called to, kind of look at this, look at it straight on, look deeply within themselves, and to step out of these previous coping mechanisms and tendencies. But in order to make that shift, one must first sort of immerse themselves within that. So again, leaning more into those triggers, leaning into that kind of that tendency to just sort of shut away. And from that place of the cocoon, from behind those closed eyes, there's a lot going on in the mental space. There's a lot that they are feeling and sensing energetically, and just trying to really hold on through these changes, through the chaos and the turmoil internally and externally, until there's a sense of almost relief, or a sense of knowing, or some kind of a sign or an inclination that they get about steps that they can take forward. It feels like, as much as they may want to kind of reach out to you, there are other kind of matters to attend to in a more sort of intimate level with them, internally and in their world, things that need to be brought to a close, or introduced into their life in terms of new coping mechanisms, before they would be able to really provide you with something of value and worth by way of reciprocity, honesty, and integrity about their feelings, and kind of working with these energies and the love that flows between the two of you. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got O, Z, Q, C, P, X, S, A, M, D, and H. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the clear quartz heart. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Okay, and they say, I'm working on myself and facing my demons. So they could be doing a lot of shadow work right now, maybe looking into some self-help techniques, fashioning some new tools for themselves as far as coping mechanisms are concerned. Some of them might actually be getting therapy or even seeking treatment for addictions to a variety of substances, tendencies, behaviors, even addictions to particular patterns of thought and belief systems, kind of a lack mentality that they are in the process of kind of breaking away from in order to cultivate an abundance mindset for themselves. Some of them may be looking into kind of the techniques and principles of law of attraction, manifestation, and really seeking to create different results for themselves in their material surroundings based on, first and foremost, kind of manicuring that internal landscape of how they view themselves, the perspective that they are operating from, kind of moving out of a glass half empty perspective of the world and of love and partnerships and even of themselves into the glass is half full. So out of empty into full, filling their own cup, really nurturing themselves at this point in time. Maybe seeking, again, kind of therapy or even just doing research, joining some kind of community or finding a lot of solace in that, a lot of self-awareness that is coming, certain books or a particular book that they are reading, maybe leaning into spirituality or religion to find some kind of grounding, to really get out of their head, to work through kind of some limiting beliefs or limits that they have created within themselves or that have been placed upon them. So it could be very hard work at this point in time. Energetically, they may feel very remote from you because a lot of that focus feels to be internal and personal at this point, not in the sense of any kind of egocentricity or narcissism, but more just in the kind of interest of truly analyzing and assessing and observing oneself in order to be able to identify patterns and root causes in order to transcend these things. So a lot of inward focus at this time. They also say, I never should have let you go. So they are very nostalgic about you, about this connection. A lot is really come into perspective for them, come into clarity for them as they are learning these kind of new techniques, learning more about themselves and their tendencies, their habits, their patterns, some inner kind of distortion and toxicity. They're really starting to see you and what the two of you had with fresh eyes, recognizing how they may have kind of pushed you away in response to something that was triggered within them. Really starting to recognize how you had their best interests in mind, no matter what they might have kind of thought or very impulsively kind of leaned towards in the past. Some of them may have even told you that they felt very trapped or smothered by you and the love that you had to give. They have really turned a page in this sense that what they were looking at as a form of constriction in the past, they're now seeing as a place of warmth and sanctuary. It's the idea of these kind of these warm arms that they just want to be wrapped in. They're missing the warmth of the connection the two of you once had. They also say, I fear rejection. So this can definitely explain some tendencies within themselves, maybe to self-sabotage, pushing you away before you had the opportunity to kind of remove them from your existence. And this, I feel, is a trend for them in a lot of ways. Kind of the worst case scenario mentality, looking for the red flags, looking for the problems, and when they don't exist on the surface or even underneath, then this person has a tendency to kind of be that problem, to create that problem, create that upset. So then they are able to say, see, things didn't work out just as I thought they would not. All of this is starting to be looked at from a different perspective, that they really have been standing in their own way in a lot of ways throughout most of their life. And so this yearning to kind of move back in your direction, they feel that they are definitely a work in progress. I mean, aren't we all to some extent? But truly this person is really working to refashion some tools within themselves to learn some new skills, new ways to communicate, coming to terms with their own feelings, understanding these things, looking at these things, maybe learning how to put that to words for the first time ever. And so they feel to be holding back at this point in time because they're really, they're still kind of grappling with that lack mentality. They may still be very new in this changed kind of mindset, or with whatever this new kind of habit or teaching or kind of practice that they have taken upon themselves, they have taken on board or kind of involved themselves with, that they don't necessarily feel very sturdy and confident in that yet. So it feels safer to just keep the distance that has been created between the two of you while they continue to kind of work to unshackle themselves from certain things and to build their confidence and strength in other ways. They also say your beauty and grace still captivates me. So they may be watching you online, looking at your pictures, looking at your social media, maybe from even kind of a fake profile, just kind of watching from the shadows, observing you, longing for you, missing the closeness and warmth of your presence. They may also be looking back on old photographs of you, rereading old texts and emails, or just in their mind, just kind of going back over memories of the times that the two of you shared. And it's really filling them with the sense of regret that they never should have let you go. And it's bringing to mind almost that you were the best thing that ever happened to them. And they are missing that. They are wanting to, kind of continue to do this work. It's part of that motivation to continue to strive for better, to reach for better, to become better within themselves so that they can bring you a better version of them than you had experienced previously. They also say, I want to create with you. So this can talk about creating a family, creating art, creating a legacy, creating a business. This can really tie into, again, some kind of a spiritual practice that they have taken on board. You may resonate as a light worker. They may be starting to identify themselves as that as well, as an empath, this urge to heal, this urge to help, and it's starting with self first and foremost. Learning those tools and mechanisms in order to create something of outreach for others. This can also really tie into creating a new beginning with you, creating a different future for the two of you than what is kind of predicted at this point in time based on what you've experienced up until now. Again, kind of breaking down some of these walls and limitations, making change within themselves so that they can show up to you in a changed energy rather than being a force of destruction in your life. This person wants to come back as a force of creation. They also say, I still have so much to accomplish before I can be what you deserve. So more confirmation of that internal work, kind of this, it feels like this energy of a sign that they have up, closed for maintenance, closed for repairs. Somebody who's finally starting to do that work, even if it's just at the very beginning stages of starting to question, starting to recognize that something needs to give, something needs to change, and that change must come internally first and foremost. They may have had some kind of a wake-up call. I'm also getting a health scare may have really happened for this person, or something that they experienced in their family or with a friend that really put things into perspective for them. It has really made them start taking accountability. It has shifted their perception, what they have been valuing, what they have been focused on, what they've been participating in, and there is this energy of needing to do a lot of cleanup work, learn those new skills, break some pretty bad habits that they have had, some pretty toxic or limiting even beliefs and ideas that have kept them from reaching their full potential. It has kept this actualizing the potential of this love at a distance, and it's something that they are very much geared into the mindset of change and evolution at this point. They also say, I heard our song, Memories of You, poured over me. So music could be very therapeutic for them at this point in time. That can also tie into this urge to create, wanting to make beautiful music with you in terms of energetically in the connection, maybe literally to create music together. They may, if they are a songwriter or they play an instrument, it almost feels that they could be writing you a song, or sort of turning to that means and method of almost creative expression to help process a lot of these very stuck energies, stuck feelings, to kind of break through some tendencies within themselves to learn to put words to feelings. They may be listening to songs that you had sent them. It feels that a lot of them have a playlist, either of songs that remind them of you or things that were very significant to you, getting a lot of messages in songs, a lot of downloads in songs, turning almost to music that is very nostalgic, kind of these gooey love songs, and that's filling them with this sense of longing and missing. And it's almost that motivation to keep kind of pressing forward through the difficulties of dismantling certain things within themselves and their life in order to really be able to step into that place to kind of make those love songs a reality. They also say, will this heartache end? This tears me apart. And so it's really bringing to mind that, again, this kind of phase away from one another has been very difficult. And I'm also really reminded with that card, I heard our song and then tears me apart. There is a song by Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart. So that could be a significant song for some of you. There could be messages in those lyrics if you choose to kind of look that up. But it feels that they are definitely missing you. They are longing for you. They are wishing for something different in this situation. The separation does not feel good. There is an urge to be close to you once more, to return to that sanctuary, that warmth of your embrace, of your presence. They're taking a lot of personal responsibility at this time as well for their role in things, starting to see how they self-sabotaged. And slowly but surely trying to find a way to kind of make things better internally within themselves first and foremost, so that they are able to exact change with you and in this situation. They also say, let's manifest love. Thoughts are manifesting. So this is really tying into, again, that confirmation of law of attraction. This can be something that really has been a teaching and principle that has affected them profoundly. It has really shaken their awareness and kind of the circumstances they find themselves in, and kind of taking those steps internally to generate change in their outside circumstance. This can also tie in with the idea of wanting to create, wanting to, manifest a new future with you, a new beginning with you, to create a family, to manifest a version of themselves that is worthy of you, that is able to meet you at your vibration, that is open and willing and able to give and receive love with you, rather than being kind of triggered or limited by beliefs or wounds or kind of tendencies of the past. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got D, E, M, P, O, Z, and L. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Mookaite Jasper heart. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Okay, and we have, you are so kind, sweet, and accepting. So you really are a light in this person's life. It feels that you have always been, and it's something they may not have been able to fully see, appreciate, and accept before. But time and distance has really changed things for them. They may have really experienced kind of some tower moments lately, people that they thought had their back, that really had their best interests in mind, that kind of left them when they were in a point of need, some true colors that were demonstrated to them by people around them. And it has brought their attention back to kind of what is missing, this sweetness, this honesty, this purity that you hold within you. They may have really kind of been in this grass is greener mentality, or just really distracted or investing in things that fed them on the ego level. And there's a sense of really starving at the soul level, wishing for that sustenance of your presence, recognizing the depth and value of what you had to give to them and who you are as a person. They also say your touch is electric. So you definitely have activated this person in some way. They are very magnetized to you. The times when you are together, exchanging information, talking, in one another's physical presence, it is very activating. It really brings a whole new sense of intimacy and connectedness to the forefront of their awareness. This may have been something that was very overwhelming to them in the past, where they had really run from that, avoided that. But now kind of in this distance, they are noticing a lackluster in terms of other connections they've experienced since being with you, or even as they are reflecting on kind of their romantic past prior to you. They're seeing that you are a grade above all others. No one can really take your place, and that this connection, this experience with you, even the energy that the two of you continue to exchange remotely with one another, it is unlike anything they have known before or have experienced since. They also say, I miss your scent, your love, and your energy. So again, very much magnetized to you, missing that sweetness, missing your presence in their life. They may be in a time of kind of a hermit mode, very alone. A lot of connections may have sort of fallen away, or they're just no longer resonating with people and situations that they were once heavily invested into. There's this longing and this urge to kind of reconcile with you, this feeling of nostalgia that is really drawing them back in your direction internally, mentally. You may be sensing their energy around you a lot, dreaming of them, feeling them around you, feeling this very powerful Kundalini energy kind of rising up from within you. And all of that is really evidentiary of kind of this focus upon you at this point in time. They also say, I want to create with you. So this message came up in group 2. So if you were drawn to that group, you may want to watch that after this one. There could be additional messages for you there. But this person definitely wants to create a new beginning with you. Maybe create a family, create art, create a business, create something of value, really wanting to use the experiences between the two of you in the past, the good times that you shared, to create something new, to build in a new direction with you in the future, wanting to create a fresh start and a different outcome in this circumstance than what currently exists between you. They also say it's easier to stay away now than to lose you later. So again, this period of kind of being in hermit mode, a lot of darkness they may be going through, a dark night of the soul, needing to rebuild their life in a lot of ways, feeling that they are almost a work in progress. They're trying to create something different, a different capacity within themselves to show up for you and in love. A lot of self-discovery that is needing to go on right now, a lot of cycles that are closing up for them, and a lot of just kind of turmoil, almost not wanting to bring that messiness into this new future that they want to create with you, that they are yearning for. It feels that they are putting you on a pedestal also to some degree, and maybe feeling a bit of lack as far as what they have to give, what they have to offer, feeling a lot of regret for having taken you for granted in the past, having made you feel like an option or not choosing you. And so while they kind of work through all of this, come to a place of forgiving themselves, learning different skills, learning different coping mechanisms. It feels that it's something where they're almost trying to, protect the potential future that could happen between the two of you by doing this work very quietly and very independently first. They also say, I've never cared so deeply for someone before. So that confirms that element of contrast as they're looking back on their romantic history, maybe even people that they have been with in the aftermath of the two of you moving into maybe a space of separation. It's something where it's they can't compare this, the electricity, the energy, the intensity of it, that both frightens and allures them, the way that they have felt so seen and so safe in your presence. This is unlike anything they've experienced before. And it's something to where, it feels that it very much frightens them, this idea of electricity. It is very intense, it is very overwhelming, it is very activating. And as much as they want to recoil from it, they can't help but being pulled back towards you, back towards thoughts of you, memories of you, a yearning for you, a craving for you almost. But again, it really brings to mind some barriers and obstacles in their life or internally within them that need to be kind of cleared away before forward momentum can happen in this circumstance. They also say, you are a part of me. I want you to know I love you more than words can say. So they are feeling very entwined energetically with you in a positive way. At one time, this may have felt very overwhelming, very constricting, almost something that they were trying to really shed or shake off or kind of break away from. But they are now recognizing the very kind of unique aspect of having met you in this lifetime, something that you've really awakened within them, a desire and an urge to create a new start, to create a new beginning with you, to make all these experiences up to this point matter in some substantial way. A lot of love that they have that they may have restrained themselves from saying in the past, or that they are refraining from expressing at this point in time. But again, this idea of wanting you to know that they love you, they may be consciously sending you loving vibrations, which you are picking up energetically at this point in time. It feels that it's almost all they can do at this point while they're in this process of kind of trying to dig themselves out of some kind of hole that they find themselves in, that they have put themselves in, really coming to terms with sort of decisions that they have made, the company that they have kept, the life they have created for themselves, and trying to really find a way to move beyond that, a desire to move out of this internal darkness, out of this kind of dark night of the soul energy, and into the light of personal truth and illumination, the light of the love that they have for you. Something they may have really run from, shied away from, or been in denial about previously. It feels that they are now turning around and facing this head on. They also say, I always talk to you. It brings me peace. So telepathy may be very strong between the two of you at this point in time. Again, like a third confirmation here, very consciously directing energy in towards you, maybe rehearsing, kind of saying the things, kind of sending you these I love yous and these I'm sorries from afar while they're still in the process of kind of restructuring some things within their life, changing some things, coming to a place of really acclimating with the choices that they've made, where they find themselves, what they have contributed to in this connection, what they have failed to do in this connection and in their life in general. There's a sense of wishing that they could almost get your advice, have your comfort, have your reassurance. You've always been so kind and sweet and accepting. You've been a safe space for them, a place where they feel very encouraged, very seen, and they may be experiencing quite a lack of that at this point in their life. People that are very judgmental, very uncaring, or again, kind of difficulties that they faced, and all of a sudden people are just disappearing from their life, showing their true colors. And there's this, this missing, this feeling very lonely and very isolated in the company that they are keeping. And they also say, will this heartache end? This tears me apart. So this card also came out in group 2. So again, there may be messages for you there. But this is really talking about, the time apart, this distance between the two of you. It doesn't feel good for them. There is this urge to reconcile, this urge to, move back in your direction to try and mend things. But it feels that as they look around right now, they feel very empty-handed. They feel an emptiness within themselves, a lot in their world really being torn apart. It tears them apart that they have almost passed you by. And it's something, it's also, a song came out in group 2 in conjunction with this card. So I will let you go back and watch that. I probably will leave a link to that song in kind of the description box under that group. But in this card, this is really bringing to mind, it's a lyric from a Coldplay song, Warning Sign, and he says, "You are an island and I passed you by." So that might be a significant song for you as well. I'll leave a link to that in the description box for group 3. But it's that kind of idea that they had chosen to move in a different direction. They had not seen your value and worth. They may have felt that the intensity between the two of you, that it was something best avoided. Now where they are finding themselves at this place in their life, it's almost that they are able to see you with greater clarity, what you had to offer, what you had to give, who you are inside as a soul, as an individual. It's something that they now are recognizing that value and that worth, and there is this, this want and this need to kind of course correct, to move back in your direction, to do that 180-degree turn and just run to you. But as they see right now kind of what's going on internally, what's happening in their life, there's a lot that needs to be kind of tended to and addressed directly around them. They're not really sure how to get back to you, if you would even be open and receptive to them, if it's too little too late, and it's tearing them apart. All of this regret and this longing. So again, a lot that you may be sensing from this person energetically at this point in time, really maybe pulling on your energy, or again, directing a lot of kind of loving energy, this warmth towards you. So if things had been kind of cold or removed for a period of time, telepathy may be strong, it may be increasing, dreams, and again, feeling them energetically around you as kind of that confirmation of, despite what they are showing, what they are demonstrating, what they are saying or not saying in the material sense, inside, internally, in that quiet space within them, at the truth and core of who they are as an individual, all signs point to you, and it's something where they are longing for you, they are missing you, and they are wishing that they could find a way to return to you once again. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got U, M, I, P, N, L, R, J, and C. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.